Today we are focusing on Mark chapter 7 verses 25 to 30. I'm looking down here, I'm looking at my Bible, so don't be like, oh, what is she looking at? Did she write out notes? I could have, but the greatest notes that I have, my Bible. So as the title suggests, a good answer, as the title said, a good answer. So here we see Jesus had gone to Galilee. And when he went there, as usual, the crowd followed him. I've started at top verses 24. The crowd followed him, and right away, a woman came to him whose little girl was possessed by an evil spirit. She heard about Jesus. She had heard about Jesus, and now she came and fell at his feet. She begged him to release her child from the demon's control. Since she was a Gentile, born of Syrian Phoenicia, Jesus told her, first, I should help my own family, the Jews. It isn't right to take food from the children and throw it to the dogs. She replied, that is true, Lord, but even the dogs under the table are given some crumbs from the children's plates. Good answer, guys. Jesus said to this woman, good answer. And he went on to say, and because you have answered so well, I have healed your daughter. And when she arrived home, her little girl was lying quietly in bed, and the demon was gone. Guys, this woman got a response to her answer. She got healing for her demon-possessed daughter. Her daughter got to be free from demons simply because she gave Jesus a good answer. This is what I got. A lot of times when we are talking to God, or we are told that the only way God responds to us is he says yes, no, wait. At least that is for me, in this entire journey of my serving God and knowing him, that is what we're told. Like, maybe you're asking God and it's not coming to pass, and he's probably saying no. He's probably said yes already, but you didn't hear him. He's probably telling you to wait. Guys, what if Jesus is looking for you to give him a good answer? He's probably looking, he's probably asked you a question about that thing that you have prayed about for so many years, for 20 years now, and he's simply waiting for you to give him a good answer. But that's what you're doing. You're just, you go and conclude because you've gone into his presence for 20 minutes, for 10, for 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh, it's probably telling me no. You are taking that out of your feelings. You're like, Jesus has definitely said no. God has definitely answered me, and he has said yes. He has definitely, we are waiting for yes or no. We are going to him and asking, because of course if you're a woman, you know, not even a woman, like we know, like a lot of us pray about marriage a lot, and then we're told to pray about a spouse, and then we're told to just simply go to God and ask whether this is the person I'm supposed to be with or not. And of course we are expecting for God to say either no or yes. And because God is so gracious and so good, and he comes to our level because we are his children anyway, he will help us in whichever capacity we come. But what if Jesus is looking for you to give a good answer? How do you get to give a good answer? I just thought you need to be in conversation, constant, longer conversation, because I'm pretty sure this didn't happen over, like, we're reading the encounter in 3 lines, 5 lines, but if we're reading it in 5 lines, it was just, you know, compacted for it to fit in the Bible, for us to be able to get more stories to go over and relate to, and actually to build our faith with. So you probably just simply need to be in God's presence and ask him constantly and wait for him to respond, because he's responding something. Guys, he is God. He's simply not saying no and yes all the time. Granted, there are things that he's just simply going to say no. Do I go out with this person? No. Do I move cities? No. Do I not go for that job? Yes. He probably has said that to you before. But what about we give this a chance? What about we give the good answer a chance? God, imagine God telling you, imagine Jesus saying to you, yes, I am going to heal you. Yes, that man is your man because you have given me such a good answer. Such a good answer. Listen, Jesus had the authority to heal this woman's child, regardless of her ethnicity, her Gentileness or Jewishness. He didn't care, because he didn't come for the Jews anyway alone. He came for the Gentiles. He has said that before. He didn't come for the people who already healed. He came for the people who are sick, and this person was sick. This person's daughter, this woman's daughter, was sick, demon possessed. That is what Jesus has been doing all through Mark, healing and releasing demons from people. And now this woman is here, and Jesus is telling her, you are Gentile of born of Syria, Phoenicia, like Jesus. In my mind, I'm thinking the fact that she had faith, because she also probably knew that I am of this origin. But Jesus is so good at what he's doing. He is the one who's going to heal my daughter. She already had the faith. Jesus already knew that this woman had the faith, but he just engaged her. And then this woman responds back and says, but even the dogs, true. It's like, I acknowledge it. God, I acknowledge what you have said is true. Acknowledge God when he says, by the way, that person that you want so much to be in your life, that battle that you're fighting so hard to win, it probably is not your battle. How about you acknowledge to Jesus and told him, maybe it is not my battle, and then bring him into remembrance, because he has said that bring me into remembrance. Let us wrestle together. He probably is saying, you need to come to him and say, granted, I know this battle is yours, but you have also given me the authority as your child to stand and speak to mountains and they get moved. So give me the weapons. Give me the weapons. You have also said the battle is not mine, but you have also said that I have given you the weapons are not carnal, the ones that I've given you, and I am aware of those weapons that you have given me. Maybe Jesus is looking for you to give him a good answer. You're going to him and you're telling him, Jesus, the doctors have said, they have written that they have given me a report. They have said I can't have children. The complications with my husband and with myself, or just my husband, or just me. The complications with that child, the thing runs in the family. It is genetics. Everyone is going to run mad. Everyone is going to have arthritis. Everyone is going to have dementia. Everyone is going to get a cancer of a certain sort. That is what is going on. That is what you're presenting to Jesus. Well, that's what you've been told. And how about you bring this into remembrance? How about you come to him with a good answer and tell him, there is a report that is saying, but me, I have come to you because you're the good physician, you're the great healer. The report is saying that my breasts, they're at stage 4 cancer, that I can't have money to purchase something, that my business is stagnant somewhere. But I know you have said in your word that you have given me the power to create wealth, so that you will fulfill the promise that you gave to our forefather Abraham. Now, let your promise come to pass. Isn't that a good answer, my friend? Isn't that a good answer? This person is here playing me, but your word has said that all things work out for the good of me who loves you guys. The good answer we even have to give Jesus. We don't have to come up with what this one came up with, that I hear dogs at the table even also eat crumbs. The good answer Jesus has already given us through his word, through his promise that he has given to us. So you're coming to him with a sickness, you want him to be healed, and you're not giving him a good answer. You're saying, should I be healed, should I not be healed? And it's like, Why should you get healed? There is my child out here who has called unto me day and night for a fortnight. They've given up something and they are just declaring the goodness. They're just praising. They're just glorifying me. That is the one that I'm going to give the healing to you. You don't deserve it. Because guess what? You're not of origin. You're not of origin. The origin that I get to give food to. And guess what gives you the origin? Knowing and understanding the word of God and saying it to him, putting him in remembrance, and then he will respond to you and say, good answer, my child. And you will go back home and you will be working well, you will go to your business and you'll be reaping exactly way more than you expected. You will go back to that person and the relationship, that marriage will be rejuvenated. People's minds, they will be turned, people's hearts, God will turn the hearts of men from stone to flesh just for you. Just for you. His